We had another question come in from a coach about how they can set themselves apart as a coach, which we've dove a little bit into niche, but is there anything to add about how somebody can set themselves apart?
I think there's a misconception when coaches are starting out that they're competing with other coaches. The thing most coaches are really competing against is indifference. And it's doing, like, you're really competing against doing nothing or doing your life without a coach, because coaching is one of those things that's not absolutely necessary. It makes a difference. People who are working with coaches are more productive. You're looking at maybe 20 to 30% more productive if you're working with a coach. Mm-hmm. And so it's not a life or death thing. It's more of a flourish, or, really, it's about like optimize or status quo. And that's really what you're competing against, is the status quo. You're not competing against other coaches. So when you start thinking about, okay, so what's the status quo that you want to change? What is the thing, not just with, individual clients, but in society? What's the status quo that you would like to see different? That's your marketing message. And that's how you stand out, is talking about what you would change, not just for one person, but for multiple people. Mm-hmm. You do that, you start to craft a voice, you start to craft a message, you start to show up authentically, on purpose. So many other decisions fall into place when you have that clarity of what you do for the world. Clients will be attracted to that.
Yeah, I agree. This was a message also in just the real estate world when I worked in it, because you have this office that has like hundreds of realtors, and they're all fighting in this market. But every single one of them, especially when they were being authentically themselves within that market, there were people for them there, that wanted to work with them specifically because of what they offered, even if they are doing something similar as somebody else. But I think that is a huge thing, is understanding your own value as a coach and knowing your worth as a coach, and understanding that why. What are you passionate about, but what also makes you angry in the world? What do you want to see a change in? All of those things, I think, really help somebody show up in a way that it will naturally resonate with a group of people. And I think being in this community of coaches, when you see coaches supporting coaches, it's like I've seen businesses just like really bloom within our community, with coaches empowering other coaches and giving referrals and connecting and helping people's businesses succeed. And so, yeah, you really can set yourself apart by being yourself and doing what you feel like you're supposed to be doing. I think anytime you kind of go off base and you're trying to coach something that doesn't feel right with you, people know it and they feel it. And your business is probably not going to thrive in the same way as it would if you were just showing up.
I remember having a realization when I was starting out, and it came quickly when I was working with schools. And I realized I, as a human being, could really only handle around 40 current clients. Like that's it. And you think about how many students are there in the world, how many young people are out there, and we're talking maybe 1 billion, or 3 billion. Like we're talking large numbers of people. Mm-hmm. So if you're thinking, okay, I'm like, if I were starting from zero, from no clients, nothing, I had to get trained, all of that. The mindset is, if I limit the mindset that I see a lot of new coaches adopt is, if I choose something very specific, then I am saying no to a lot of clients. I'm no longer available. That's true if you're geographically based. So if you are looking to meet with people only in person, only in certain, within a certain mile radius, yes, you have to have a slightly larger specialty that makes sense in that space. It's just good business. Mm-hmm. However, if you're meeting people on Zoom, if you're not geographically bounded, then you want to be as specific as possible so that you can go as deep as possible with an understanding of that group, their challenges, the problems that they're facing, all of those things go into that. Not so that you can ask, not so that you can be an expert so much in saying like, here's the, from a positive psychology standpoint, here's the intervention that you need. It's not so much that, but it's, I want to show up as a force for good for these people in the world. Mm-hmm. You need to equip yourself with knowledge in order to be able to do that. And so that's, if the mindset shifts away from, I am doing these things so that I can coach, it goes opposite. It's, I am up to these things. And if I go after that larger thing, then my coaching will support that, and people will be attracted to me as a coach because of that. So it's that shift. It's the expertise for the sake of change, not expertise like for societal change, not expertise for the sake of being able to provide better interventions. Yeah. Those come along for the ride.
Yeah, that's good.
So